Welcome to the Impact with Robin Dorsey. Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me here today. Oh my goodness, I am so excited to be back here with you again. I missed you all. I hope you missed me too. Thank you for tuning in as always. Well, tonight, oh my goodness, let me just tell you, I have a fantastic and fabulous guest with me tonight. And this brother is bad, B-A-D, bad. When I tell you he travels all around the world dealing with wonderful celebrities and stars and drumming to his own beat to success, just wait till you meet this fella here. He got it going on. I mean, like our talented brothers. So, without further ado, I'm going to introduce you my guest of tonight. And his name is Carl, and they call him CRFTD. So let me tell you a little bit about Mr. Carl here. So Carl Anderson is a vigorous and resourceful musician. He's an innovative producer. Yes, he has his own show too. I mean, this brother does it all. I'm telling you. Wait till I finish telling you more about him because, yes, he is an adaptive singer and he is the drummer extraordinaire. Yes, hello and welcome. He is known to be the solid drummer with the quick foots. So I guess you got to be all nice and prepared and ready because, you got to pay attention to stay in tune. So he got that. C-Man shared the stage with some renowned artists all over the world. Al Jarreau, Matt Markshin, the Mighty Clouds of Joy and the Soulsters, and other musicians in the Mid-Atlantic area. Carl has performed on over 35 recordings with various artists. 35 recordings. This brother is still getting paid today, over 20 years ago. I mean, he ain't that old. So, let me back that up a little bit. But you get my drift, don't you? Yes. He has earned a solid reputation as one of the most acclaimed, consistent, and professional percussionists available today, captivating many audiences with his concrete pocket groove. Yes, can't wait till you meet this brother here. Pushing musical boundaries from jazz to R&B and go-go and gospel, Carl is one of the most exciting musicians to enter the music scene in the last decade. Carl has enormous faith in God, and you have to have that to keep it moving, and everything else will follow. And true love for music. So without further ado, please allow me to introduce my guest, CRLCManAnderson. Hello and welcome.
Good evening.
How you doing?
How you doing, Robin?
Thank you for coming on my show today. I'm so excited.
Yes, this is an honor. Finally.
Yes, it's been in the making for like 20 years now. So.
I know. We was able to negotiate
We're not
contracts.
that old. We're not that old.
Yeah, of course we're not. No, not at all. So, yeah, it's a blessing to be here, Robin. Thank you for having me. Yes,
thank you. So you have been doing this thing. How long? How many years have you been doing this?
Well, I will be celebrating next year 30 years.
30 years in the industry? Oh my God, 30 years.
30 years of playing music.
You're not even that old, Tom. Well, what you started at 2?
5, actually.
Dang. So, who inspired you to start drumming to the beat?
My dad.
Your dad,
yeah,
okay.
My dad was a gospel quartet singer in the Annapolis area.
Okay.
And then he recorded and traveled professionally as well. And so at 5 years old, he gave me some sticks. He put Mighty Clouds of Joy record on, vinyl record on.
Yes, go Dad.
He said, pay attention to this beat. And from there, the rest is history, as they say.
Wow. What is your dad's name?
My father's name was Evangelist Kenneth Anderson.
Wow. So he got you on your way at an early age of 5.
Yes.
Wow. So how dedicated was you? Was that something because you watched him that you really wanted to, it's like, oh yeah, I want to do this. So you started doing it, or was you, volunteered initially, and then you started loving it? Which one was it?
No, I mean, from day one, I really can't say there was a time where I was like, man, I don't want to do this. You know, my mom was a little apprehensive at first because, you know, she was like, she felt like maybe my father was trying to live
through you. Yes, yes.
You know, but by the time, you know, I got of age, especially like I said, 89, it was December 89, I was 11 years old, I was in my first band. And
wow, at 11, you had a band?
Yeah.
A whole band?
Yes, a whole band.
What was your band name at 11?
Occupation. It was a go-go band in Annapolis. And,
okay.
We went real strong for about 4 years, 4 or 5 years, and then I left and pursued some other things, yeah.
What, at 11? Your own band?
Yes,
a full
11.
band?
Full band.
Where did you play?
We played at the local rec centers and people's houses, you know. At that time, you know, we were too young to be going to the clubs.
Well, yeah, you know, we don't want to get you in trouble now.
But we had opportunities as we got a little older to
Okay.
perform in front of other audience that were a lot older than us, you know. But they was very receptive to our sound, so it was truly a blessing, man. Honestly.
Wow, that is amazing. So how supportive was your mom when she realized that you really do like this drumming thing here? You know, it's not just your dad's dream. You really like this. You into it. You're doing pretty well. How supportive was your mom, and how did she encourage you to keep following your dreams?
Well, to be honest with you, my dad passed when I was 16 in 95. And
sorry to hear that.
From that point on, my mom knew she had to, you know, take on the torch. You know, carry the torch on. You know, we had some bumps and bruises along the way.
As with anything.
Yes, you know, because, you know, mom's like, no, you going to job, you going to do this, you going to school, you know. But, I mean, at the end of the day, I truly thank God for my mother because she is one of my biggest fans and supporters, right, you know, to this day.
I love that. Moms do support us. And what's your mom's name?
My mom's name is Ada Anderson.
Shout out to moms. Hello. Thank you.
Hi,
thank you. Promoting this young man here to be the fabulous individual that he is.
Yeah, so I'm very grateful. Thank God for her. She'll be 73 in September.
Wow, that is amazing.
Yes.
Well, happy early birthday, Mom.
Yes.
I love that. I love that.
Yes.
So let's go into high school years. So you're now in high school. You've been playing forever now. Because, you know, that's like long years. That's like dog years. You've been playing forever. You're in high school. So how did that work? So you already this professional musician and you're in high school. So what is your friends thinking, saying about, you know, you're this celebrity already and they're just getting to know you. So let's talk about that experience.
Surprisingly, a lot of people didn't know that I was even into music.
Really? Oh, so you was a secret. You was in the closet.
Yeah, I mean, I
You
did.
was a music closet person.
Yeah, I mean, I did, you know, music classes and stuff like that, took courses, but, you know, I really wasn't, I can only, God forbid, I can only imagine what, if we had social media back then.
Oh, man, you would have been killing it.
Oh, yeah. I probably wouldn't even be here right now. You know, I'd be in like Budapest somewhere, you know what I'm saying? But
see, that's why God knew to keep you, you know, a little reserved a little bit just for me.
So,
just for me.
Yeah, so it was interesting, you know, growing up, and like I said, by the time I was ready to graduate, it was like, do I really want to take this seriously, you know, take it to the next level? And so with some people around in my neighborhood, as well as some other people I met in the industry at a young age, they just really took me under their wings and cultivated, nurtured, and invested in me. And, you know, I thank God, you see what God has done, you know, all these years later, so it was a blessing. Yeah.
Who would you say back then was your, I know your dad and your mom was your inspiration, but who helped to really mold you and to keep going in the industry back then?
Well, there was a guy named Randy Savage. He was...
Hi, Randy.
Hey, Randy. He was how can I say, he was really a guy that was in the music business, in the industry. He helped me produce one of my first tracks. You know, he was like one of those guys that helped me to understand equipment and how to utilize different, you know, pieces of equipment. Then I had my godfather, Mike Cook. He really helped me because he was singing with the Mighty Clouds at the time and traveling and touring. So I really had a hands-on experience, you know, hands-on training from those that were in the midst of the industry at the time, you know. So
yeah,
so I was very blessed that, you know, I could phone calls or just take a drive up the road. So.
Phone calls in high school and beyond, you know. I mean, you know, this man, he had it going on. Yes, I love that.
Yes.
So, you're out of high school now.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me about the time when you had your first like performance that you really wanted to do and was like, this was the one, like a mentor or a role model or an inspiration that you really wanted to perform with them and you had that opportunity. When was that?
Wow. It was actually my senior year in high school.
Senior, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so still in high school.
Yeah, still in high school. I was blessed with the opportunity to work with the Soul Stirrers, which was the group that Sam Cooke spawned from.
Okay.
And
Sam
and my godfather hooked me up with the gig. You know, he's like, man, I got a gig for you. I was like, well, who?
Right.
You know, and we was always doing a show with them. And man, that was just an honor because my father had traveled.
Wow.
And, you know, traveled alongside, worked with them. So just to be able to do that in his honor that same year, it had been like maybe 2 or 3 months since he had passed. So that was a blessing, you know.
Okay.
And then really from that time, from high school, after I got out of high school to about 2002, things was kind of like in limbo for me.
Okay.
You know, really wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I was still, you know, in church and
Right.
really didn't have the direction.
Okay.
So it really wasn't until like 2001 I did my first recording with Reggie McClurkin, live recording, another artist named J.R. Pinckney and the Voices of Judah. From that point on, 2 or 3 different projects a year from 2001 up to this time. So I've been very blessed, very blessed.
Wow. So we have some viewers here. So we have Gerard Pinckney. He was on the show a couple of weeks ago. Hello. He said you are a great musician. That is so awesome.
Yeah.
See, it's a small world. You never know. You never know. You have to be good to everybody because you just never know. Yeah. Then we have Tony Brown who joined us. He says, see, man, that's my brother.
Yes.
So thank you all viewers for chiming in. We like that. If you send us some questions or comments, I may just read your comments, so keep it going.
Yeah. Gerard's a great guy, man.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He's very humble, and he got it going on too.
Yeah. Like I said, it's just been a blessing to meet so many different people in the area over, the span of my career, and continue to meet great people like yourself.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I'm so honored.
So I, definitely just looking forward to continue to build and cultivate, nurture, invest in my craft as well as those that are coming behind me.
Yeah. So after you had your drought moment, trying to figure out what direction you was going to go in, when did you finally say, okay, you know what, this is it. I'm ready. I'm going to do this. So what was that moment like, and when was that? And then what did you do to get to that level?
2003.
2003?
Yeah,
okay.
I was working with...
I like that. 2003.
Yeah, 2003. I was approached by an artist that I've been working with in other groups called Art Sherrod.
Okay.
That was a name earlier in my bio. You said Al Jarreau.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Art Sherrod. No, but he came to me. He said, look, man, I'm ready to go solo. He said, I want you to be a part of my team. And, and he was like, he knew I could sing and play at the same time. And he was like, look, man, would you be, a part? I was like, of course, So from that point, my career took off. And I met another artist, Matt Marshak.
Okay.
From those 2 artists, man, my career just over the last, last 15 years or so, I've been blessed to be working with some of the great jazz R&B artists, Still get my chance to dibble-dabble in the gospel field every now and then.
That's a good thing.
But from there, from 2003, man, that was the time that I said, okay, we got to get this thing on the road, So, yeah.
Let's talk about recording artists. So 35 different recording artists. I mean, when did you have time for that? When did that occur? Oh my goodness! Like you're like Houdini or something. He was popping in here and there. I mean, it's like when?
Oh man, wow. How can I say this? Just really as I was networking.
Okay. With
different artists. And people would be like, man, I'm working on a project, and I was hungry. I was like, look, man, if you need me to play. You gotta
be hungry for your dreams.
That's right. I was like, if you need me on your project, just call me. Don't worry about the money,
Yeah.
Because basically, I was just like, man, I want to have
exposure.
Exactly.
Yes.
You know, and that's something that's forever.
Yes.
You know, a gig.
Absolutely.
You know, a gig can happen. That's it. You know, but a recording, somebody 10, 15 years from now, 20 years, 30 years from now can pick up their recording and be like, man, who was on drums? You know, so to have that opportunity and to work with artists just not only local but nationally, you know, man, it's just been a blessing. You know, it's been a blessing. Yeah.
What was your most memorable recording?
Wow.
I know that's a hard question. First of all, let's put a disclaimer. He loved all of you all 35. So let's put that out there so you know, hey, you like her over me or him? No, it's not like that. It's all love. It's all love. Your most memorable, though?
Family Function Project with Matt Marshak.
Okay.
It was about 06, 07. And I was working on my project at the time, my first solo project. And that was one of the first times I recorded outside of the state. We were in New York.
Okay.
We were in Long Island, New York, recording.
Hey, New York.
Yes. So that was just a memorable experience.
Okay.
Anyway, because, you know, I had a few projects, you know, up to that time, but that was like one of the albums I really felt like I was able to really come out of my shell, really showcase what I do on stage live with them. And man, that was just, until to this day, that's still one of the best albums I've really felt. You know, what can I say? CD? I'm sorry, CDs.
Okay.
Best CDs I've done.
Yeah, I mean, there was albums back in the day. Again, we're not that old, but they had albums back in the day. Now for the younger generation, it's CDs.
Yeah.
But it's about to be just straight playlists, iTunes, playlists, all of that stuff.
Yeah, streaming song. Yeah, Family Function album that came out in 08, man. That was just like, one of the most memorable, recordings.
What would you say was your most difficult time being in this industry as far as being a musician? What are some of the adversities that you have faced?
Well, with music is changing every day.
Absolutely. Some of the music now. I mean, it's all right.
Staying relevant.
Oh,
Staying current,
that's a good one.
At that time where, I was at a place in my life, like about 5 years ago, where I was like, I just wanted to give up. In spite of everything I've done and have accomplished, I was just like, I don't know if I really want to pursue this anymore.
Okay.
And it's because of a lot of times when you're in the moment of doing so many things.
Absolutely.
When you really have that time to just settle down and say, whew. And then, like, the reality of life starts happening, health-wise, family
you get
situation.
burnt out. You get burnt out.
Exactly.
You're going because you're so hungry and excited that your dream is here, is coming true, and then we don't take that necessary break that we need for ourselves, and then your body's like, okay, well, if you're going to do it, I'm going to have to shut you down. So and then you get in that low place and said, okay, well, I didn't want this much time down, but I mean,
Yeah, so, I just had to really just pray to God. I reached out to some people in the industry, some friends that I could just talk to about life. And that was one of the blessings, I would say about a lot of the friends, as we would say, famous friends, people that are in the business. When I would talk to them, we would talk about life.
Wow.
Talk about, hey, let's get together, let's have dinner. It wasn't about who you work with, what's been going on.
Right.
And that's what kept me humble. That's really brought me back to,
I love that.
like, you know what? You still have to have a life.
Absolutely.
And believe me, these situations, these times we're on stage, those are moments. And once those moments are over, we can't live in that moment.
Right.
And that was something, and that was something I had to really
to learn.
Wow. And I've learned it. And God knows it's such a blessing because when that show's over, I'll be like, yes! Right. I go back to hotel chill. Right. So it's very intense. People see the glamorous of it.
Yes. They don't see the background, all the stuff you have to do before.
Yeah, they don't see everything, all the development and all the studying and the preparation, so I thank God that I went through that, and I really encourage my fellow musicians and those that are in the arts, there are going to be times, there are going to be moments.
Yes.
But you really have to know, you have to have the faith in God and trust to know that it's just a season.
Yes.
And sometimes we need to press that reboot button.
We do.
Boom, you know?
We do.
And
because we get comfortable. And when you get comfortable, then sometimes we get lazy or complacent, and then we start just doing what we know and what we feel was right because it was at that time. But sometimes, we have to be pushed and led, through God to say, you know what, no, okay, now this is your season to move, or this is your season to sit still.
Yes.
I mean, so you have those seasons and moments, and you have to be able to appreciate both times, because both times are critical and pivotal moments in your life, because it defines us of who we are, and it helps to shape and mold us to that person that people end up loving.
Exactly. So and it, like I said, it was and a lot of times it's been 20 some years that my father's been gone.
Wow.
And my father was always that person. He was like that rock.
Right.
Yeah.
And
then my mother became that rock.
Right.
And then there was some other folks that became that rock, and then they went on to be with the Lord. So it was like I was just going through a lot of different times, a lot of different things. Yeah. And it was just like, it's like, what? You know what I mean?
Like, what else? What else, Lord? Yes.
Yeah.
You have those moments. It's real. It's life.
Yeah. Because when I put my album out in 2008, it was like, went through all that, and my godfather passed away like 2 weeks before my CD release.
Wow.
And it was like, it was just like I'm sitting there, I got this CD, and I'm thinking like, so what do I do now?
Right.
Because a lot of times artists they're at that place where they are in their career where they get the product,
right?
Okay?
Yes.
But then if they don't have a machine or direction or blueprint to know how to get their stuff out there, then it just sits.
Yeah.
And then you become discouraged.
Yeah, because all of your sweat and tears and hard work went into this masterpiece.
Girl.
And then it's sitting in your living room. And then it's like, well, I did all of this. Nobody's going to see it, appreciate it. So then what do I do?
So I had to get it together.
Okay.
Get it together quick.
Right.
And I didn't give up,
Keep it moving, yeah.
Yeah, because what I realized was the same energy and stuff that I'm putting into other people's success, I need to do double that
for
yourself.
Mine. Yes. You have to pour into your own life as well as other people's lives, because at the end of the day, you have to look out for you too.
Yeah, because if you don't, I'm sorry, no one else will. I mean,
that's very true.
There's a lot of people that say, "Oh, I'm with you, you," but when it comes
I got
down
your back.
Yeah, so.
I love that. So tell us, you put out your CD. What was on your CD, and what inspired your CD?
Well, a lot of people didn't know. It was a gospel soul album. So
did you sing on it,
yes.
or did you just do drums, or you did a collaboration of both?
I did a collaboration, everything. I wrote just about everything that was on the album.
And you wrote your own stuff too. I
Mm-hmm.
told you this brother was bad. Yes.
So what I did was I came from another direction. So I showcased a lot of talent.
Okay.
So songs that I wrote, I had other artists sing. I had other artists featured on the album. So a lot of people was like, well, why are you doing that for your first project? And it was, it was titled Starting Out, because I was like, well, everyone knows this.
Right.
Everybody see me play this, so I wanted to showcase another side.
I love that.
So, from this, I mean, still to this day when I listen to it, I'm like, man, thank God for allowing me to connect with those that are part of that project.
I love that.
Because I'm not a selfish person. I believe when you do right.
That's right, absolutely.
And when you think of others and know that God has your back, then when the time and season is for you to receive what for you to receive, you will receive it.
You will receive it, yes.
So I just believe that, you can't be selfish going up top, because I believe this. Right. We're all climbing ladders.
We're all climbing a ladder. You know how slow sometimes going up them ladders can be.
Yes, but who and what we do to those when that time comes will determine how far we fall.
Absolutely.
Because there's a lot of people who go up ladders, and when they fall, people are looking at them.
Right.
But if you do right by people when you're going up that ladder, then when you fall, then folks will have their arms out like this on the side.
Yeah, I love that.
So, it may not always, a lot of people don't always see it that way, but I certainly believe that what you give out is definitely what you're going to give back.
Absolutely.
So, yep.
I love that. So you got to pour into pour into someone or something that's meaningful that you believe in, because you just never know how pouring into this young man here or someone else, how that person is helping the next person, and so forth and so forth. So I mean, your gifts is just helping people develop, and you don't even know it. And sometimes it might not even come back to you, or it may come back 20 years later, and they was like, you know what, I was sitting here on the couch watching the show, and I heard, Carl talking, and he inspired me to start my, my drumming career, or my musician, to be a fantastic musician. And so you just never know what people see or hear that inspires them to be their best.
Yes.
I love that.
Exactly.
I love that.
Exactly.
So let's talk about, what does it look like a day in a life for when
me?
you're performing? What does that day or night looks like? Let's talk about from when you first get there on. So tell me a little bit about that.
Well, depending on if I'm flying,
okay,
or if I'm driving,
okay, maybe it makes a difference.
Yes.
Okay.
Normally it's still the same time frame. I'm up like 5-6 o'clock in the morning.
But wait, the show's normally is not until night. So you up at 5 o'clock in the morning. The show is not until 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night. Wait a minute. Okay,
Yes.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Keep going.
So sometimes the flight might be a 7, 8 o'clock flight. I may have, depending on if I'm driving, I may have a 4 or 5 hour drive.
Wow, yeah.
So I'm the type of person, I don't like to just get there.
That's right, because you need time to de-escalate and yes.
So most of the time, in the midst of flying or driving, I'm still prepping. I'm going over the music for that evening.
Okay.
And if I have 2 or 3 artists, then of course there's a lot of material that I'm reviewing and just prepping myself for that show. By the time I get there, may land that afternoon, late afternoon, then we're off to sound check. Sound check.
How long is sound check?
Depending on the artist.
If the artist is on time, or yes, we know how that can go.
Depending on the situation, sound check could be 2-3 hours.
Wow.
And then depending on, how early we get there to the venue, we may be able to go back to the hotel, shower up and, and then go back to the show. And then boom, then we're there. And then we're on. We could be on stage for 90 minutes, 60 to 90 minutes, depending on the show that I'm doing, because I work with so many different artists. Then after that, it's in the car or whatever. I'm driving or the car.
Wait, before you get to the car, let's go back to the show. So you're on stage, you're performing for the 60 to 90 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you keep the momentum up? That, I got to play this song, I got to do this. So how do you prepare mentally for that, to keep it going and keep that motivation and energy up to be great? How is that?
Well, first of all, I pray.
Amen.
And
That's
definitely
important.
it's a zone. I really can't describe it.
Okay.
It's just a zone that I get into. As soon as I sit on that drum stool, it's like boom, I get locked into that zone of whatever the task is for the night. As soon as I click those sticks, then I'm off and running.
Off and running in it.
In it.
What if you gotta go to the bathroom though? Like, what happens?
You
gotta wait till the show. You gotta wait.
Right. Yeah, you just gotta.
You gotta go before or after. You're not drinking a whole bunch of water to go to the show.
No. Persevere through,
I love it. Well, we have to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're gonna have the diabetes PSA. We're having a diabetes walk September the 22nd at the National Monument. I will be your walk chair and MC. So you got to come on out to the National Monument. I am I'm a diabetic, type 2 diabetic. I am a Red Strider. Red Strider is a person living with diabetes. So come on out and support. Join my team, The Impact with Robin Dorsey. You can Google it. But when we come back, you'll see our commercial. So give us 90 seconds and don't go nowhere, because we got some more stuff for you.
My name is Robin Dorsey.
You have a
I'm
second
an
to
American
breathe.
Diabetes Wellness
How you
Ambassador.
Good.
You
and
good?
type 2
You enjoying the show?
diabetic.
Got a lot of comments.
I'm also a Red Strider. A Red Strider is a person living with diabetes. I want to tell you that you are not alone. There are 29 million Americans that suffer from diabetes.
My name is Amari Mock, and I'm here to stop diabetes.
I'm Major McKinley Lewis. I'm a type 2 diabetic. You are not alone. Stop diabetes.
My name is Isaac Clayton, Fort Washington, Maryland alumni chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. I have type 2 diabetes, and you are not alone.
My name is Tornia. I have type 2 diabetes. You are not alone.
We're not alone, so let's stop diabetes.
Miss Russell, I'm a type 2 diabetic, and I'm walking so you don't have to stop diabetes.
Keisha Mock, I'm a type 2 diabetic. Help stop diabetes.
I'm Rick Doc Walker, former Super Bowl champion with the Burgundy and Gold, and I'm here to help stop diabetes.
Stop diabetes!
Stop diabetes!
Fort Washington Kappa, stop diabetes!
Stop diabetes!
Stop diabetes! We are the Q's, stop diabetes!
Team Fitness, stop diabetes.
MJ All-Star, stop diabetes.
Stop diabetes! Ebony Wings, stop diabetes! Stop diabetes!
Support to stop diabetes.
Stop diabetes.
Visit www.diabetes.org for more information. Stop diabetes.
Welcome back to the Impact with Robin Dorsey. Thank you again for tuning in and watching the Diabetes PSA. 30 million people are affected by diabetes, so you are not alone. We are in this thing together to help stop diabetes. So here we go. Now, as you previously was aware, we have CarlCManAnderson on the show, and he is a phenomenal musician and drummer and singer, and he got all this stuff going on. And we have been chopping it up with him about all of these amazing things that he is doing in his life and with his career and his talents. I love it. So welcome back.
Yes, I'm back.
Yes. You back?
I'm back.
You sure?
I'm back.
You're here? I love it. I love it. So, we have some more Facebook viewers that chimed in. Hello, Cousin Terry. Thank you for watching. We love you, girl. And I told you Tony Brown is there. So, thank y'all. We love y'all. Keep the comments coming. You never know. You never know. So, now, you told us about what your average day is like, since it starts at 5 o'clock in the morning, and you showed it's not even until like 7 or 8 o'clock at night. That is a long day. How do you survive after that type of day? And then what happens when you have multiple days? What do you do? When do you sleep?
Maybe in the limousine or the car.
Okay.
Or I just take advantage of the time that I have in the hotel after the show.
Okay.
Because I'm not sorry, I don't have any horror stories. I'm not a big rock star. I'm a party pooper. After my show, I go back to the hotel. Usually get some wings and ginger ale.
Wings and ginger ale, okay.
Yeah, so, but for the most part, you really have to be able to just know how to de-escalate and know how to prioritize your time.
Yes, that's important.
Yes.
Yes, time management is important.
Yeah, because really it's a constant going.
Right.
And having to deal with that at times, and especially if it's just one artist and you're doing multiple days is one thing, but when you're doing multiple artists and it's multiple days, and then sometimes it's not the same artist, so that in itself is like it can be a lot to handle, because you have to be preparing for one show and then still have your mind in the next day for the next show.
Wow, so you have to be ready in advance.
Exactly.
So how do you prepare for that? So you have to play different. So if you have like two different artists, and you have to prepare for the one artist, because each artist have their own different type of music. So how do you retain that? Or are you listening to what they're playing, or you have to really learn their music? How does that work?
Wow.
Some trade secrets. We want to know. We want to know. Tell us.
I can't tell nobody. No.
Ooh, yes. Okay.
No. Honestly, I had some formal training as far as growing up, But a lot of my stuff, you know, is God given. So it's just really about retaining the music and the material, and then I have certain nuances that I use for certain groups and different styles of music. So that's what keeps me on top of what I need to do. Right. You know, because these shows are never dull shows.
That's
you know
true.
What I mean? So,
that is true. There's always something going on in the front scene, the back scene.
Yeah, and really, especially with the 70s Soul Jam tour, anything can happen at any given moment.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So it's not scripted. You know, we play it off sometimes, so I guess I'm giving too much away. Right. But the point of it is that, you know, it's just you really have to stay on top of your game. You know, and the days, 3 or 4 days, maybe even 2 weeks, depending on how far in advance.
2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, because like for me, I have multiple shows,
right.
so I could be doing one show, flying back home to do another. So I need that time to be able to let it sink in my system. Yep.
Wow, 2 weeks, Jesus, that's a lot of retention. Do you take Ginkgo?
No.
5 hour energy?
No.
I mean, goodness gracious, 2 weeks? Oh my God, yes. That's talent in itself. Talent in itself. So what happens when you get like a little, okay, so you're in the show, it's all exciting, there's a lot of stuff going on in the room, but what happens when you have like a moment where you get tired or sleepy, or what do you do? I mean, you just shake it off and be like, no, I gotta keep going. What are you doing? What
you have to.
Because I mean, everybody don't have perfect moments all day, every day.
No.
So what happens in those moments where you just like, oh my God, I really have to push through to get through this show tonight?
Well, to be honest with you, prayer, and, and really relying, on the guys I'm on stage with.
Right.
It's a team effort.
Okay.
So. When one is, as they say, if one falls, we all fall.
That's true.
And if one rises, then we all rise together. So, it's really just about maintaining that energy, and knowing like, okay, we got to focus. You know what I mean? We got to stay focused. And I certainly know that I've learned through the years, when you don't properly prepare, that's when you have issues on stage.
Oh, okay. So you can't fake it till you make it.
Oh, no.
Ain't no faking it till you making it when you're a musician on the stage, because it's going to show.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And does the artist yell at you when you try to fake it till you make it?
Yeah. I had the experience now. This is some years ago. Hey, it's all good.
You got your beating, but you good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, let's
experienced this. This is a long time ago. I was still young.
Okay.
And it's probably around 17 or so, 18. I had the chance to work with Twinkie Clark, so I had always heard about the stories about her mother and Maddie Moss Clark, and how she would throw shoes at people and stuff, and even how Twinkie was, So we were working. We was at programs at church service in Baltimore, and she started a song, and I did the beat wrong, and she turned around, she was like, "Wrong beat," and then I had to get it together, and boom, and then she turned around, she was like, "Thank you." And I was like, "Hey," I was like. But it was
right. But it was a learning moment.
Exactly, and
you knew not to do that again.
Exactly,
you didn't want that feeling of being yelled at. Right.
Exactly.
I love that.
So but it's just I laugh at it now.
Right.
But those are the type of things that shape and mold you.
Absolutely, because it's a part of your growth.
Exactly.
So if you don't have any trials and tribulations and bumps in the road, then how it's going to make you stronger and strengthen your walk? You have to have something every now and then. I don't say your life got to be difficult every day. You got a problem? No. You need to change your life. You're not living right if every day something's wrong. No, we're not talking about that type of stuff. We're talking about you have to have a little bit of trials and tribulations to go to the next level, because if everything's so smooth and wonderful, when that thing comes, then how are you going to handle that? So we got to be thankful for our blessings and our trials and tribulations.
Yes.
Linda said, "Tell them, Carl." Hey, Linda. And thank you, Sister D, for watching. We love you. We love you, and Jay. Yes. So let's talk about, what would you say to a young musician coming up today that wanted to get into the business, that didn't know what to do, he just started playing drums, or whatever his talent is? What would you say to enact him to get started?
Study your craft. Study your craft. be around and get around people that are going to cultivate, nurture, and invest in you.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be around folks that are better than you. You know,
absolutely.
You know, set some goals.
Okay.
Some realistic goals, short and long-term goals. You know, as well as learn about the business.
Yeah.
You know, learn about what you're doing. You know, it's one of the saddest things about this business today is that so many people are still getting into the business and still ignorant about the business they're in.
Yep.
You know, so
hire you a lawyer. If you can't read, if you're not a contracts person, hire you a lawyer to know the terms and conditions of your contract. Don't take pennies on the dollar. Just because you're new, you don't have to settle for that. But if you go for that, if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything.
That's right. And then, you know, also too, with the age that we're in, you can press a button. You can pretty much Google anything.
Yes.
If you want to learn how to fry eggs, you can Google that. You know what I'm saying? You want to know how to jack some white person? I mean, I'm sorry. Anyway, the point I'm making is that you want to make sure that you take the time to invest in your craft. Because at the end of the day, there's someone else who's doing something more.
Yes.
They're taking the time, more time, you know what I mean? And you have to really realize that, you know what? You have to have passion. You gotta love what you do.
You gotta love what you do. It makes a difference because people can see it. Like, we're sitting here talking. We love what we do. Can't you tell the smiles on our faces? I love that.
Yes, yeah. Because not every album that I've made or have recorded equaled money.
Right.
Some albums were opportunities to open doors for other things. And I've always, and I still live my life that way because I never want to put a chokehold on God's blessings for me.
Yes, a chokehold on God's blessings. I love that.
Yeah, because sometimes we shut ourselves out of our own blessings.
We do. We block them because we're so focused on the dollar. But if you're doing what you're supposed to do, living in your purpose and, you know, living with God, it's going to come. He got your back. He already had it planned out for you. But you got to walk in your purpose so all of your blessings can come.
That's right. And live in your means.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes, that's important. You can't be like, you know, because a lot of people, you know what somebody told me the other day. They said, well, you know, if you want to, you know, you love doing the media. I do. And I work a full-time job. So many of you think that this is all I do. No, I have a full-time job. And I love my full-time job. That's where all my wonderful degrees are. But someone told me, well, if you really want to make it even bigger in your media career, you should quit your job. Well, I know that has worked out for many people. And it was like most people who make it big have really great stories because they were homeless. Well, I am too old. One, I am too old for that. You know, I have a kid that I have to take care of. And two, I mean, that's just not my story in my life that, you know, I can quit my job. I have a really great job, so I'm not doing that. But I'm going to keep on working these two. You know, I am burning the candles at all ends of the stick 7 days a week. So when you don't see me here, I am working at doing something. I'm always doing something. You know this. You see me all the time. Mm-hmm. But yeah. So they was like, you should just quit your job and walk in faith. You can walk in faith and do that, but sometimes you have to walk in realistic too, because sometimes that's not everybody's path and plan. So that's not for everybody. I'm not telling everybody to go out here and quit your job and live your dream. No, my dreams are still coming true, and I did not quit my job. So that's not everybody's path.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that because absolutely. I mean, you know, I lost a job going on 7 years ago now. Might have been a little bit more now, but still. And it was like that was really the door opener for a lot of the things that God blessed me with. Yes. You know what I mean? So I know what it is to have to know okay, I got these gigs coming up, so I got to budget this money to make sure I take care of this bill, or I got to sit on this so I can have this to go with this. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that my world is glamorous, so my life is glamorous.
You got the king's ransom in the bank just waiting for you to just push the button. My son told me that one time. He's like, well, Mom, you know, he always tell me he wants all these things, you know. He's the only kid. So he's like, well, Mom, just get the money out the bank. And I'm like, Darius, somebody got to put the money. I have to work to get the money in the bank. The money just does not magically appear in the bank. So in his mind, he thinks that the money just magically comes in the bank and we just would make withdrawals. No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work that way. No. Doesn't work that. I mean, maybe it's just me. Does it work that way for you? You got
I gotta work.
Just push that button and the money just starts shooting up, making it rain.
I wish. It'd be nice. But I mean, I'm realizing too that, you know, the things that my parents taught me, when we were younger, the importance of what it is to, take care of what you have.
Take care of what you have.
Yes. And just to be, I used to get mad. I mean, I like to be real.
Yes.
I used to get mad because I would see my mother buying my baby sister stuff. I'd be like, man, Dad, why? He's like, I'm not going to just give you something. You going to work and earn for it. It's like, what?
Right, you got to work for stuff?
Mom just gave me the age range for what? Like, what's up with that? But now, oh, Lord knows. Now, thank you, Lord. Right. I can appreciate what it is to work.
Yes, it is. Because you worked hard for that. Nobody gave this to you. I mean, gifts are cool. Don't get me wrong. But when you work for that thing, when you work for those degrees, when you work for that gig, and that comes through and you're performing in front of all of those amazing people, I mean, you feel like that you have made it and have accomplished something. And you did that, it wasn't on your own because, God puts, creates paths and put people in your lives to help make that come to fruition. But, I mean, it's just amazing for, all of those little elements just to line up, and you worked for that. I mean, you just appreciate it so much more.
Yeah, because, I mean, the bottom line is that I know that this is not going to be forever, and so I look at it from the perspective that I'm going to do all I can now to build for my future. As well as invest in yourself, invest your money. Put money away.
Yeah.
You don't have to get Jordans every time something comes out. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Take that $300 and invest it. Do the necessary things that when you are 50 and 60 years old, you can play because you want to. You can perform because you want to, not because you have to.
Yeah, that's true.
That's something about our community. I don't want to digress too much, but that's something about our community that we need to learn. We need to learn to appreciate our dollars for tomorrow.
Yes.
Not everything has to be for today.
Yes.
Our community is always talking about the white people. Wait, well, hold on. First of all,
right. Tell them.
All the money that the white folks have today is not from today. Some of that money is from yesterday.
Right. That's called long old money.
Yes. You know what I mean? So it's not only just money, but land. Their position in life, you know what I mean? That's why a lot of times you see these young folks, they got good government jobs, like you talk about. Yeah. But they jump into the next job. The next thing that come around, where's the loyalty?
Chasing the money.
Yes.
You don't have to chase the money. The money gonna come to you because what God has for you is for you, and it's nothing. That's why I don't understand people who you say, I want to know what you do. Can you tell me how you do what you do? And people's like, well, I'm not gonna tell you. They be quiet. What I don't understand about that is when God blessed you with this gift, not to keep it to yourself, but to share with the world. That's number one. And number two, He's not going to take something away that He gave to you. And so why not help the people which we're supposed to be doing anyway? So why not share? I have 3 different degrees. When I die, I can't take any of this with me. So I share my knowledge and train and coach and do all of the things that I do right now to help pour into somebody else's life because it cannot go with me. I can't take it with me. So you're supposed to share and pour into people's lives.
Exactly.
That is our purpose. But so many people feel like if I tell them this, then they're going to steal my success or they're going to do better than I. No, God has us all on different playing fields. And we are all the stepping stones to get to where we got to go. But we got to work together to do it.
That's right. Because all of us are going to... Look, all of us have a path.
Yes.
Okay? So it may take you 10 steps.
Right.
Okay? It may take me 18 steps. But the point is that with God, all things are possible. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And every step is a part of our development. It's a part to help cultivate, nurture, and investing in us. You know what I mean? So if I didn't go through that experience with Twinkie Clark over 20-some years ago, I wouldn't have been able to share the stage with Earth, Wind & Fire or Natalie Cole, artists like that. You know what I mean? So that's not... I just, I don't say that like boasting or bragging. It's just that when God prepares you, He'll have you amongst kings and queens.
Yes,
people,
He will.
Because I've always believed that when God is driving, when God is directing, when God is in the driver's seat, then all I gotta do is just prepare for the.
You got to be in the position. You just got to be ready.
Exactly.
You got to be ready. And you have to be obedient. You have to listen. Because sometimes we hear what we're supposed to do. They say, go left. No, I'm going to go right. But you say, no, go left. No, I'm going to go right. But then when you go left and you see that path was so much easier, and then later on you may see on the news that it was a 5-car pileup when you went right. If you had went right by not being obedient, this is what you would have gotten. But because you diligently sought and looked after what I asked you to do and you did it, now this is your reward. I mean, that is just priceless.
Yeah, well, see, we all have buses, okay? You have a bus, I have a bus, okay? What has happened in life is that a lot of times what happens is we've allowed people to get on our bus, or we've gotten off of our bus. So what we've done, we've left our bus there, gotten on someone else's bus, and expected them to make the stops that we're supposed to make in life. So what happens? That might be 10, 15-year relationship.
It's a setback.
Yeah, exactly. So when I get off that bus and finally realize this ain't my bus, I got to get off, then I go back and find my bus. Well, my bus is still not going to be in that condition I left it in.
That's right.
No, somebody busted the tires, busted the windows. So now I got to go through all of that of redeveloping, reevaluating, getting the windows fixed, the tires fixed. So that could be another 8 to 10 years. And then where you at? Now you at 40 and you talking about, so what I'm going to do with my life? What I'm going to do with my life? I bet Shaquita, she took me for everything. You know what I mean? Like, come on. You know, so you have to know where you're going.
Yeah.
And you can't allow anything or anybody to deter you from your goals.
That's right.
And that's the story. That is, if I could tell anybody that's the story of my life, because as many times I had the opportunities to do this and do that, I just always knew I could see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I knew God was saying, "Hey son, I'm here waiting for you."
That's right. I
kept my eyes on him. So that's what's kept me relevant through this new age of, like, what am I saying? My God, what am I talking about? But I'm just saying, you know, we're supposed to evolve.
Yeah.
Could you imagine you still being in first grade when your son came to first grade?
No, absolutely not.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So we're supposed to evolve.
Yeah.
You know, so we can't be in the same place forever.
That's right. That's right. So let's talk about, you have a show called Lyrics of the Heart. So let's talk about that. So tell us, what does that entail? What is it? Mm-hmm. And what kind of content do you produce on this show?
Well, it's been 2.5 years now.
Okay.
A good friend of mine named Lorinda, we were doing some stuff on some internet radio stations and stuff, and we got to develop a good friendship. She said, "Carl, you really need to do this show." She's like, "You need to title Lyrics of the Heart."
Okay.
You know,
and I love that title. I love that. Yeah. I might have to write a poem about that. Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And so basically, it was just a grassroots, very organic. You know, started out my home, and I was just getting on there and talking about things that mattered to me about the community, things that were concerning the black community, and things that were just going on in society. You know. And it was allowing me to give me a platform to talk about and discuss the issues and concerns that we sometimes neglect. Yeah. Because we're always chasing after the dollar or something else.
That's true.
So yeah. So we've been I've done different segments. I've had couples on there. I've done segments on things concerning the church. You know, things in the community. So we're on like a hiatus right now. We take a little break around this time, and we're coming back the first Monday in October. Okay. So I'm looking forward to it.
First Monday in October. Yeah, you never know who's going to be on the show.
Yeah, you never know. So I'm looking forward to that because with everything that's happening, especially in the political scheme right now, you know, we need to make sure that we stay abreast of what's happening. Yeah. Because concerning our rights, because one of the biggest things I've learned with my vehicle, with music, is that we have to take the initiative to recognize what's going on around us.
Absolutely.
Because if we don't, then we'll wake up one day and be like, well, hold on. What? Huh? When did this turn to all them screams, all them gardens, you know what I mean? Like, if we don't understand the value of not just our dollar, but our purpose in life. Yeah. And so, no, because it's the truth.
That's true.
So with Lyrics of the Heart, I'm able to really bring awareness to things that matter to my heart.
Yeah, I love that. Keep doing that. That's hot. So what is next for CarlCManAnderson? What do you want your legacy to be and people to remember you as and by and for? What is that? What does that look like? What is that blueprint for you?
I will be celebrating 30 years next year.
30 years in the industry. Yes.
Yes. Since I was 11 years old. 11 years old, I've been in this business somehow, some shape, form, way. Okay. And the blueprint I want to leave, the legacy I want to leave is that if you work hard enough, you connect with the right people, and continue to build on that. Educate yourself, cultivate, nurture, and invest in yourself. My Lord, the skies is not the limit. Yeah. You know what I mean? You can achieve anything. Yeah. You know, and know that you have to be connected and surrounded by people that are going to help move you forward. Yeah. Push you forward. Can't have people that are pulling you back.
That's true. That's true. When you see that, you got to move on. I mean, we like to hold on to people, but sometimes people are only in our life for a reason, a season, and some are there for a lifetime. But you know, when you recognize that it's not good for you, you got to keep it moving.
Yeah, because honestly, at the end of the day, the time is the one thing that we can't get back.
No, we cannot. Time is valuable and precious. Time is money.
Yes.
Time is money.
Yes.
So, how can people get in contact with you, follow you on social media, tell them about your links, where you are?
1-800-LIGHT-SKIN. No, sorry.
1-800-LIGHT-SKIN. Light skin is not in? Oh, is it? Wait a minute. It's about to be your fall, so light skin is in again. But go ahead. I mean, you said you
back.
The barge is back.
Christopher Wims is back.
They all not doing bad though. You don't want to reference them. They going to jail.
We all had a moment. We all have a season. I told you. We talked about that. We all had a season.
Okay.
But God's bringing us back. So, but you can reach me at CarlCManAnderson on Facebook. And then you can go to my website, which has all my social media, which is www.c-manproductions.com.
I love it.
If you want to contact me, you want to book me, you can go there.
You want to book him?
Yes. So I'm available for hosting. I do singing engagements, playing.
Love it.
I mean, depending on the budget, I might even come and fry some chicken for you.
Oh,
you know
wait a minute! And he frying chicken too?
Yes.
Oh, he's a keeper.
So but you can reach me on there, and then so I'm really, I'm really excited about the new year.
Yeah.
Because for so long I've been kind of just sitting back and just pushing everyone else, and
And this is your season.
So I really feel like this is the time for me to really come out. I'm working on a new project.
Yes.
This is gonna be more of an R&B jazz project. Really looking forward to dropping the single next year, beginning of next year, prayerfully. Yes. And definitely looking for people to see and hear me. Where I've matured, how I've matured musically. You know what I mean? So,
okay, so J.D. Sykes got jokes. He talking about something. It's about to be fall. So light skin is in. He is dying laughing. These viewers are really having a great moment here with this show. So I'm looking down at the computer and I'm seeing all these funny jokes. And Pittman says, yes, my kids said, put the card in the machine and get some money. My kids have no concept of money sometimes. This is crazy. So, it's foolishness. So what is your next gig so people can come see you?
Okay, well, next Friday. I will be at the Cancun Cantina with For the Road. That's located in the Glen Burnie area. And then next Saturday, I will be at Ram's Head.
Okay,
on stage in Annapolis with Art Sherrod Jr. And then,
I might have to be at the show.
You might.
You never know where I'm going to be. Of course, you know that.
That's right. September 8th, I will be featured at the Dauphin County Jazz Festival, Wine and Jazz Festival in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. So I'm looking forward to that. It's my first time being showcased on a major festival as a featured artist. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah.
Well, I would like to thank you so much from the top to the bottom of my heart for being a part of my show. You was really, really wonderful as always.
Thank you for
having me. You got it going on. We might need to borrow some of that King's Ransom you was talking about earlier.
Yeah. Okay, guys.
And since Darius is doing his drumming thing, I'm going to have to bring him over there for some mentorship. So all of these resources, you see that? How we just putting all these plugs over here? I love it. But thank you again for being a guest.
Thank you, Robin.
But without further ado, so I cannot end the show, of course, without thanking my wonderful viewers, my supporters, my friends, my family. You all are amazing. I could not do any of this without you. You know, I have so many wonderful dreams and aspirations, and you all stick with me every single time that I, make an appearance or show up or do something. So I thank you from the top to the bottom of my heart, because without you, there will be no me. So, I mean, you all encourage me to keep going. So I'm not only trying to make a difference in your life, but you all are making a difference in my life. So I thank you. I also need to thank my wonderful and fantastic sponsors. So we have DChristopherCommunications for doing my show's intro and music. Thank you so much, Donnie. You are wonderful. Keep doing your thing in LA. You never know when we're coming out to LA. He's always in LA, so you got to look this man up and connect you to. We have Resurgence Beauty Lounge, who does my hair and my makeup. Thank you, Vetta. I love you, girl. You always keep me fresh. We have John Glover, my cousin. He has a company called Father Time and Company. So he just wants you to know that fathers are in their children's lives making a difference, and they are impacting their kids, not because they have to be, but because they want to be. Then we have DUniqueFashionBoutique. Well, let me just tell you some things in the end of 2018, coming to 2019 is coming up. I'm not going to give it away right now, but you stay tuned, because what's on the horizon, it's about to be off the chain. So I can't tell you a little bit about that right now. But lastly, we have Crafted website and graphic arts. Thank you so much, Robert. You are amazing. Thank you all. We will not be here next week. I will be on vacation. I need to take a break. I work 7 days a week, people. I am doing something always, all day. So I'm going to take a break. But I'll see you the following week. So thank you so much. We're having another fantastic guest at that time. You have a wonderful night. I love you, and good night. This is The Impact with Robin Dorsey, coming to you live at WBGR Sports and Entertainment Network. Thank you.